My name is Hannah Hodgson, and today I will be discussing 3 different educational websites. So my 3 educational websites that we're going to be taking a look at today is Delta Math, Math Excel for School, and Schoology. And the first two, they focus more on math. I am a math teacher, so I do know a little bit more about the math websites that are available for teachers. And then Schoology is a learning management system available for school districts to use in their teachers' classrooms. So to start, we're going to look at Delta Math. So Delta Math was created in 2009 by Zach Korsick. And the only reason it was created was because he was creating a program to assist his students with substituting in values to the quadratic formula. Because there are so many variables in the quadratic formula, he wanted to find something that was easier for his students to understand and to get to their answer quicker. So Delta Math provides teachers significant data on student performance, including the time that it took them to complete a question, how many questions they tried, how many questions they got right, how many they skipped, if they viewed a video, how many they got correct. And then students are able to complete assignments and keep trying until they receive 100% on their assignment. So if the student is completing an assignment, the teacher can go back and look at the data that was provided in that assignment. So say our student John, he skipped 4 questions, viewed an example after the 4th question, got the question wrong, went back to look at a video after that, got the next question wrong, skipped 3 more questions, and then got the last question right. So that's the type of data that teachers are able to see when they're using Delta Math. So then, as I stated throughout that example, students do have the ability to view an example or watch a YouTube video when they are stuck on a problem, and they can choose a new problem. So they can see the example, they can see the solution to the problem to pick a new problem, and they can view a video from YouTube. The advantage of Delta Math, students have access to notes at any point in time. And I put notes in quote because I'm just referring to the view an example, see the solution, or watch a video feature in Delta Math. Students have access to unlimited practice problems, so even if they complete the assignment 100%, they can keep going and going as many times as they want. They can keep practicing more problems. That 100% doesn't stop them. The assignment doesn't close them out. And students can go back to assignments that were already completed and do more problems, or they can go back to late work and keep doing more problems. They're also given instant feedback to maximize student potential in learning, and this is from Schultz 2021. So students right away know if they got the question right or wrong. Delta Math will tell them right away, and then if a student gets a question wrong, Delta Math will work through the example to show them where their possible error was. And then all the questions are linked to Common Core standards, and you can see it when you go to start creating assignments. You'll see that they each have their own little code. There's hundreds of skills that are covered throughout, I think, pre-algebra up until calculus. Everything's there. There are different types of problems, but they all come back to the Common Core standards. So you know when you use Delta Math, you're meeting those standards. The disadvantages: questions difficulty is not randomized. So you could get one really hard question, one easy question, one medium question. It is randomized. It's just scattered throughout, where sometimes on like a website like IXL, you'd get the easier question first and then would slowly work your way up to the harder question. Delta Math, it's just everywhere. Examples provided may not have the same variables that teachers use or may be completed in a different way. And this is something you're going to find across all math websites, is that they might use different variables. They might complete the problem in a different way that you had taught your students, but you have to get your students into the habit of viewing the example, understanding that variables change throughout the problem. So it could be a disadvantage, but ultimately it's just a little bit different. And then the last disadvantage is that it lacks collaboration with peers. So students need that collaboration with each other. And if they're not getting that social interaction, they're going to refer back to the teacher every single time they need help. Students need to be able to have some type of social interaction. So Delta Math should be used with interaction with each other in some way. Our second website is Math Excel for School. So Math Excel is a supplemental resource to any of the math textbooks that Pearson Education creates. and the school district can use it. It provides personal instruction and practice problems for students while they receive instant feedback on their answers and have access to multiple different helpful features. So these features include view an example, help me solve this problem. There's a calculator available to them. And when students take quizzes or tests, it goes towards their study plan, and then MathXL will create a study plan for students. Like we already said, MathXL automatically grades homeworks, tests, and quizzes, so students get that feedback back right away unless the teacher sets it up otherwise. They don't, and that helps them personalize their homework. If they get a question wrong, they have the ability to go back and look at those helpful features to help them through the problem. And again, gives immediate feedback so students can figure out where their mistakes are. The advantages of MathXL is that it creates that personalized study plan based on students' results for tests and quizzes. So the study plan provides students with practice problems to help them with their learning gap or where they need extra support. It gives instant feedback to increase motivation and engagement. So students need to know right away whether or not they're getting the question right or they're getting it wrong. They want to know their scores. It provides students with several different features to receive assistance on a homework problem. So these features are usually only available on a homework problem because MathXL is either walking them through a problem or it's showing them an example, and you can't really have that on a test or quiz. And then assignments and quizzes are auto-graded so students can get their results as stated above. Disadvantages is that questions and content only correspond to the textbook that the school district is using. Assigning questions to an assignment, quiz, or test is not accessible. It's actually a really big pain to create your own tests, quizzes, and assignments because of how MathXL is set up, because it corresponds to your textbook, the chapter of the textbook, the section of the textbook, and then the number of the question in that section. It only shows one way to complete a problem when using the view example feature, and this was similar with Delta Math. It's only going to show one way. It's going to show the way that the programmer set it up to be. Students must be provided an access code to join a MathXL course. They can't just join a MathXL course on their own. It's not like a Coursera where they can just be put into a class. They have to have a classroom where a teacher provides that code. And then once students leave their MathXL course, so say I had students leaving my geometry course to go to Algebra 2 and they need to go back to look at something in geometry, students are not able to look back at the geometry content. That content is lost for them. They can't refer back to it at all. They're only in that Algebra 2 course and can only see the content in the Algebra 2 course. And then our learning management system that we're going to be looking at is Schoology. So Schoology, like I said, is a learning management system. It's used in K through 12 classrooms to improve student performance and empower our learners. This system promotes social interaction among peers and teachers. So Schoology allows for collaboration to occur in an online environment and promotes accessibility to notes, assignments, and other classroom resources, very similar to Google Classroom where collaboration occurs and teachers can post their PDFs and their files so students have access to it all the time. And then already presenting an advantage to using Schoology is the easy access to course materials because it increases learning experience for all students. So some more advantages that we have here. Quizzes and tests can be created can be created in Schoology and then automatically graded. The collaboration aspect allows students to participate in digital citizenship, so they're able to figure out what it means to act responsibly when interacting with their peers, their teachers, and possibly other adults through technology. They're understanding what it means to be respectful, what it really means to be a digital citizen. All of the assignments can be submitted online, so no more pencil or paper. Parents, teachers, and students can communicate with each other through Schoology, and it's compatible with Google Drive. So if a student completes an assignment on Google Drive, they can connect that Google Drive app in Schoology so that they can access their Google Drive account and just submit the assignment through there. Disadvantages of Schoology is that notifications don't always appear and they can get lost really quickly. So if an assignment is turned in late, the teacher might not get the notification, so it could go ungraded. And if a teacher gives feedback to a student, the student might not see the feedback because the student didn't get the notification. So the notifications aren't always constant or consistent. It is not always an easy website to use. It is a little bit more of the complicated learning management system. It's not always as simple as Google Drive. A last disadvantage is that there's no way to lock down a browser when students are taking a quiz or test through Schoology. So MathXL, if a student is taking a quiz or test, they can lock down the browser so that students don't have access to anything else while they're taking that test. So those are the 3 educational websites